Hi guys, my name is Renee Bennett and I'm an ESL teacher at Kimberlin Academy, and my partner is April Lamb and she's a kindergarten teacher at Parkcrest. I'm just joking. I'm not a kindergarten teacher. I'm the ESL teacher. That was a long time ago. So today I'm going to show you some digital resources that we have. Fortunately, at my campus, we have a lot of different tools to us. We have 4 different iPad carts, a laptop cart. I have 2 Chromebooks in my classroom, and as well as 2 iPads. So let's get started. So my issue is that I feel like we always get all this great technology. Use this, use that, use this. But then you leave and you're like, oh my God, how in the world am I going to apply that in my classroom? So I'm going to give you 3 resources today that you can use every single day in your classroom if you choose to, or maybe just a couple times a week that you don't have to jump through hoops and feel like you are just completely bogged down. I know sometimes I feel like when they do give us these resources, you're like, oh my gosh, it's just one more thing. But I promise you, these are 3 good resources that you will use and love. All right, let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to show you is our digital libraries tab. And the only thing that you need to do is follow and just go to the Garland ISD website. And click on academics. Once you click there, you're going to see where it says school libraries. You're going to click school libraries. I'm going to click on pre-K to elementary schools.
I think we have to share our screen because I don't think it's coming.
Oh, hold on just a second, friends.
Go back here, and then you'll kind of hover over it. It's a little delay. And then share. And then just click right here. Just ignore that collapse. Okay, we're good.
All right, sorry. And that little friend you just saw is my 6-year-old. He wants to be YouTube famous, so now y'all gave him that opportunity. Okay, I'm just going to click on Abbott because that's where my son goes to school.
I'll go to Abbott. I go to Abbott Elementary. And then next one to
Hold on, friends. I'm going to go back.
You can scoot it over a little bit. I can see the little arrow.
Okay, so click here instead. It says library catalogs. And now I'm going to click on, actually I'm going to click on my school since I'm a little more familiar with that tab. So I find my school, which is Kimberlin.
That's me. Sorry, I'm giving myself the wink. Sorry. Okay. Good guy here.
And the first one I want to share with you is Tumblebooks. This is my all-time favorite thing that I use in the classroom and that I loved. And it was something that was really great for my kids. And they loved it too. So the first thing I had to do was I couldn't get it to work the other day and I was freaking out like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Well, that's because the password's changed. So your login is Garland ISD and the password is Garland. It used to be GISD. So once you click on that, you have a ton of different options that you can choose from. My favorite was Storybooks. This was something that I used in my classroom almost every single day. This would be like, we've got 2 or 3 minutes before lunch is starting, and I don't want to start a new lesson where kids are getting antsy. So all of these books you can click on and are actually read to your class. This was huge for my kids because it was 2 minutes of them getting some literacy that some of them may have not gotten at home, and it gave me a moment to gather whatever I needed before we left the classroom. So once you click on the book, you just click on Read Aloud.
Frank and Laverne. Sunday, I was rudely awoken this morning.
Okay, So that's the easiest way to use Tumble Books, and that was one of the best things. This is also a great thing if you have a kiddo at home like I do, and you need to get the dishes done, and you need to read them a story, and you don't have time to do it. Put on a Tumble Books, keep it moving. Another one of the things that I love about Tumble Books is that they have so many great tools now that you're able to see. For example, they have read-alongs. So same thing, they aren't read out loud, but it's great for your kids. It tracks as they're reading, which is really good. They've got ebooks, which I love this as well because I have some of my favorite books because of Winn-Dixie. They've got early readers, chapter books. This is something that maybe you want to do a read aloud with your kids. You could have them each stand up and read a page. Maybe if you guys are doing a novel study. Graphic novels, this is another favorite for the kids, especially my kids, because my daughter's really into comic books and things like that. So a lot of these books are tailored to kids that really like to read that way. Let me show you one of them. How many boys your kids might like Lego Ninjago?
Lego Ninjago.
Go. So you see it's formatted just like a comic book. So some of the kids that may not like to read, they feel like they're not reading. They're just enjoying a comic book. A great thing, it has a chapter menu. So maybe if you guys are reading this in class one day and you say read all of chapter 1, then you can come back the next day and start on chapter 2. It also has a page menu, and it's usually in increments of 5. So it goes page 5, page 10, page 15, and so on.
Like page 20, page 25, page 35, page 45, page 55, page...
There's nonfiction books too. This is great because I know some of our kids are really big animal lovers.
I'm not animal.
So my daughter really likes dolphins, so this is something that she would be interested in, and she would read often. Also, I'm going to click really quick right here and show you lesson plans. This is a great opportunity to, maybe you want to apply this in a science lesson and you don't know how you want to do it. They give you some really great ideas. It may not work for you. It may work for you. It's whatever you choose to do. The videos is probably my second favorite option that Tumble Books offers for us because they're all National Geographic videos. So you know you're not going to get any kind of shenanigans or anything that's inappropriate that you don't want your kids to see. One that I really liked was the black holes. This was a really good one because it gave us a lot of information, and it's something that maybe not all kids are familiar with. So one way or another, all the kids are going to learn something. Just 1 minute, friends.
That's enough.
Yeah. For you math teachers out there, they've got some great math books that you can use. One that my kids always love was this circumference guy. He's like a knight and he goes on these big missions and things like that. And they always thought it was funny, and it's just really cute. Now this is for you middle school teachers and you high school teachers. And my bilingual teachers too. They have great books in Spanish, and they have some in French, and then they have some in other languages as well. This is a great opportunity if you're a middle school teacher. Maybe you want your kids to read this as a group, and you guys can do it aloud, and the kids are learning to read in that language, and maybe they're having to then translate it back to English.
What time we go?
Now the puzzles and games tab, I'm not a huge fan of because there's not really a whole lot to it. They literally are puzzles in which they have components from the stories if they're a picture book, but not something that I just love. It's not something that I really did a lot with my kids, but you might enjoy it. But they're all books that are found on the Tumble Books page. So again, you go to tumblebooks.com. The login is Garland ISD, and the password is Garland.
Just being very helpful.
Okay, so the next thing that we're going to look at is discovery. And this is my second favorite resource. So you just put your username in, which is usually your Novell. Let's see if I can remember my password. Saved on all my devices because I'm lazy.
Oh yeah, that's on my.
I'm using one that I'm not typically used to. Oh, okay. Hold on just a second, friends.
Okay, we can use mine too.
Okay, hold on, friends.
Just use that one. Hopefully that's the right one.
Okay, so this is one of my favorite resources for several different reasons. One is it's awesome and it's educationally based. So you know your kids aren't getting a bunch of shenanigans Joe Schmo put on the internet because he was bored at 2 o'clock in the morning. The second thing is that they have animated books on here. This was huge for me because when I taught kindergarten, a lot of the times our kids needed visual aids. Well, even now kids need visual aids. So this was a great thing. So for example, I typed in, let's say I type in bears. And so there's several different things that pop up. I want to go to videos because I want to show my kids a video about bears, but I really need to make sure and filter that to meet the needs of my kids. So let's go K through 2. Now you have the option of doing a full video. Maybe you just are looking for a segment or even animation. I'm going to click or full video and see what we find. So they have a couple of options. There's Goldilocks and 3 Bears. Maybe you guys are studying fairy tales. You've got the Breaking Trail Grizzly Bear. And some of the videos are even offered in Spanish, which is good for you bilingual babies. Okay, so that was my first favorite thing. I use this with my kids in social studies. We used it for science, or just a special little treat. Maybe you guys have indoor recess today and you don't want to bust out the games. This is a great little video to show that the kids will love and be engaged the entire time. Another thing that I love, I'm going to unclick full video. So there's so many different things that you can look at. You can look at boards, which are kind of like, some of them are interactive. So you can click on one. And some of these are student made, some of these are made by teachers. So I would definitely do research before you come in and start clicking. And I'll show you in a minute how you can make these. And you can put pictures and video links and really anything that you want. So think of it just as an interactive bulletin board. The next thing is images. Maybe you're just wanting to show them an image of a bear. You can click on images and pull up anything that they have in their database. This is really good for your visual learners, especially your ELL babies with some of the vocabulary maybe in science that they're unfamiliar with. There's audio, which are a lot of there's some cute songs. You can listen to stories. There's also sound effects. There's text, which this is a feature that I've never used. So this might be beneficial. You might find a way to bring it in a reading group with your kids. Oh, so it just gives you a little snippet about a polar bear. So this might be a great thing. Maybe you want to put it in a station and then you want to have your kids write about it. Interactives, this is kind of cool.
Three of these animals live in this habitat. Drag them into the scene.
So let's see.
Polar bear.
Oh, that's cool. All right, so this is another great way for your kids to be actively engaged, and if I'm excited about it, I'm sure they're gonna be. And the last is lesson materials. This is great because this can help you build a lesson around a subject that you want to talk about. Or maybe you're just kind of perusing through and there's something you might want to introduce to your kids one day and you don't really know how. So this is a great opportunity for you to use these materials and to bend it to your will and how you want your kids to learn. And I love that it has separate tabs for elementary, middle school, and high school. That's really big to me because I have an elementary kiddo and I also have a middle schooler. So maybe we're talking about it one day in the car and I have content for him and I also have content for her. Okay, so one thing that I really enjoy about Discovery Ed is that you can click My Content, and then you can create a folder for what you're looking for. So maybe you're doing a Polar Bear unit. Add a folder. And then literally every thing that you find that you want, let's see, we'll go back to bears up here. You can add it to your own folder. So this is great. So you're not having to search the same thing all the time and it's just easily accessible. So if you decide, oh my gosh, I made this great lesson, you can do it over and over and over again because you have it there in that folder. So you just click right here and then you click Add to My Content. Click on that folder and then we'll go back just to make sure it's there. And there you go. And then let's say you find something and maybe it's outdated, you don't want to use it anymore. You click here on Actions and you can delete it. Okay, so Discovery Ed has a lot of really great tools that are beneficial, not just for you, but as well as for your kids. So one of the things that I really liked in this was the assignment or the builder tools. So you could come here and you can find anything. If you want to create a quiz or a writing prompt, an assessment, an assignment, anything that you want to do, you can do here. And I'll get back to this in a little bit because I need to explain first the professional learning. So the professional learning tab is awesome because if you're like me, I like to just click through and try to figure things out. And then I end up having to go back and watch a video anyways. So this is a great way to stop doing that and just get some help the first time. So you have what's called Learn and Lead. So this is great because it gives you step-by-step guides on how to use Discovery Ed. They also have videos and they have collaborative online courses. So I'm going to click the step-by-step guides. So it literally tells you how to get started using Discovery Ed and how it's going to help you, how to build the board that we talked about where we had the little polar bear and you can click on the videos. And maybe you want your kids to do this. There's a science tech book as well. There's actually also videos that you can watch to try to figure out how to do something on here. This was really big for me. And I wish I would have known about this tab whenever I was trying to learn how to use Discovery Ed. So here's some great interactive modules. And it literally shows you how to do everything. There's a video on here. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. ELL strategies, that's huge. But there's also a video on here that shows you how to create your classes on here. So you could literally create a class, which I'm going to show you really quick. If you go to Classroom Manager, you go to My Classes. And you literally can create a class and then your kids can log on to Discovery Ed and they all have access to this. My 6th grader does. And then you could assign a test. You could do a quick exit ticket. And maybe if you wanted to see, oh, I don't know how that went. So you do something really fast, a quick little informative assessment to see who knows what's going on and who doesn't. And maybe you might need to reteach. But this is a great way for you to stay connected with your kids, and you're not having to lug around a whole bunch of papers, which that was huge. I have a big, huge teacher bag that I would just carry all these papers home, and it drove me crazy. I would take it to basketball practice. I would take it to volleyball practice and the dance practice. But if you have this tool, you literally just need your laptop or your iPad. You can also see your results by class and by your students, as well as the boards that they create. So this is it for Discovery Ed. And I'm going to close out of there, friends.
And do something else.
All right, my last resource for today is Britannica Image Quest. This is a pretty easy one. I like it because it's really user-friendly. And I feel like even my 6-year-old could come over here and type something that he wanted to look up. So let's look up, what should we look up?
Thanks.
All right, let's look up snakes.
It's on mine.
Mm-mm.
Let's look at Bigfoot.
All right, so this thing is pretty awesome because it shows an image, but the best thing that I absolutely love about this is that it gives you several options. You can, so that your kids are citing in their work if maybe they want to use this image for a report. You can add it to your images, you can download it, you can email it, you can even print it.
Oh, one print.
It tells you who gives you credit, who took the picture, and then you can even click here and find more information about this. And it gives you exactly that, more information about it. So this is a great tool, I think, for any grade level, especially for little ones, because it's a great thing for them to come and look. I know when I taught first grade, we did an animal research project. So this would be a great way for them to actually see an actual picture of it, not necessarily just something from a book. And let's do something maybe not animal based. Let's do football since that's my favorite sport. It came up with soccer. That's awesome. Okay, so we got some pictures of actual soccer and then actual football. Go.
Oh, look.
So this is, again, a great way for your kids to see different images. Oh, that's really cool. So it even has pictures from 1976. So I think that you'll find a lot of really great resources if you just go to your libraries tab. Does anybody have any questions? That's all I have for you today. All right, so April's going to post a CPE link in the chat window. Click on that to make sure that you get the credit for watching our webinar today. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Sorry that my little 6-year-old was yelling and hollering in the background. He's homesick today. As you can see, he's going to school tomorrow.
Okay.